Kannamma, Kannamma, Azhagu Poonjilai. Welcome to the next episode of VoxGuru's song breakdown series. Today we are going to break down this beautiful song, Kannamma, Kannamma. This is one of my personal favorites. One thing that I really like about this song is that it uses a very comfortable vocal range. It is not very high-pitched like many other film songs. If you see a lot of film songs, especially the female voice, will be very, very high-pitched. So most of the time we need to use our head voice and we really need to go out of our comfort zone to sing those songs. Especially for people like me who don't have a naturally high-pitched voice. These songs are absolute bliss. So I really love singing this, and let's dig deeper into this song and let's observe many aspects about the voice, about the notes and the modulations. Let's start with the initial alapana. So the song starts with something like this, right? Now how do you make sense of an alapana like this? When you hear this particular tune, how do you learn it? How do you understand it? The best way to learn an alapana is to translate it into the swaras. Okay, that is the most foolproof way that you have to be very, very sure that you're singing it right. Now before translating swaras, you should know where your sa is. Okay, so my sa is here. Sa. Okay, so this is the sa for the entire song. So based on this sa only we are going to make sense of the various tunes and swaras. Okay, so now let us sing the first part of the alapana. I'll slow it down. Ga ma pa sa ni re sa ni. These are the notes, but the notes are being connected very smoothly. So you don't even realize what are the notes, right? That is how smoothly it is moving. And then the next part. Sa ma pa ma ga re ni sa. Okay, so you have to translate the basic notes and you have to understand what are the gamakas which are being applied on the notes. So translating the swaras does not mean that we will just sing all the notes in a very plain manner, right? You have to see which notes have a glide, which notes have a push, which notes have a oscillation. So all this you have to observe after translating the notes. Now let's move to the first line of the song. Kannamma, Kannamma. So there is a lot of detail here, right? Let's break it down. The first part. Kannamma. So you have a glide here. Kannamma, ma. So it's gliding from ni to sa. Ni, sa, ma. Okay? Kannamma, Kannamma. So here you have more number of notes, right? Ni, sa, ri, sa, sa. Kannamma. So you notice that stress that I am giving to the last note. Kannamma, sa, sa. Now this technique is something that we practice a lot in Carnatic music. There is a series of exercises called Janta Varisai. So here we are taught how to apply this kind of stress on the notes. So for example, sa, sa, re, re, ga, ga. So in Akara it becomes So that kind of a push on the notes is something we practice very early in our Carnatic journey actually. So if you have learned Carnatic music and if you have practiced these exercises, then these kind of phrases will be very easy for you. Now the next part. Azhagu Poonjilai. This is also very interesting. Azhagu. You see that sudden jump here? Azhagu. So what are the notes? Ma, pa, ma. So from the lower pa, we are directly jumping to the ma of the next octave. So that's a huge jump, right? Azhagu. So be very careful not to strain your voice during this. Then the next part. Poonjilai. Ma, ga, ga, ri, sa, sa. So here also we have that same stress technique, the Janta Varisai technique. Poonjilai. Ma, ga, ga. You see how I am pushing that second ga? Ma, ga, ga. Poonjilai. Now let's combine this. அழகு பூஞ்சிலை. Then the next part has the same tune. என்னுள்ளே என்னுள்ளே பொழியும் தேன்மழை, உன்னை நினைத்திருந்தால் அம்மம்மா நெஞ்சமே. So what's going on here? உன்னை நினைத்திருந்தால், உன்னை நினை plain, திருந்தால். Here there is a push, right? நினைத்திருந்தால் தால். So remember to give that force in the end. உன்னை நினைத்திருந்தால் அம்மம்மா ரிக ரிகமக அம்மம்மா நெஞ்சமே ரிசச நிசரிகமா. Now I am telling you the swaras only to give you an idea about the basic tune, but you should not end up singing it in a very plain way like re sa ni sa ri ga ma. So if you take the swaras too literally, you will end up singing it very plain. So you have to remember that though we are saying certain swaras, there are also certain connections between them that you should not forget. So try to connect them very smoothly. நெஞ்சமே உன்னை நினைத்திருந்தால் அம்மம்மா நெஞ்சமே. The next part has the same tune. துள்ளி குதித்ததுதான் எங்கெங்கும் செல்லுமே, ஒளி வீசும் ஒளி வீசும். So that is a briga. வீசும் மககாரி. Again you have to give the push on the second ga. வீசும். Then மணி தீபம். Again மககாரி தீபம் அது யாரோ. So that is like back to back brigas. யாரோ ரிசசா சனினி. So all brigas have the same format. In the end there is one note that we push. So let's do all these brigas. ஒளி வீசும் மணி தீபம் அது யாரோ நீ. Now that's such a beautiful glide, isn't it? நீ. It's actually a very big glide. நீ. So we are at pa, the lower octave pa, right? But now we have to glide till e, ni. That is ma of the middle octave. So you are gliding from pa to ma very quickly. So ni. You have to make sure the glide is very smooth and very quick. It is not a plain jump like ni. It is not like that. It is ni. So it is a glide actually. And then we end it with Kannamma Kannamma அழகு பூஞ்சிலை. And the second line has a variation. என்னுள்ளே 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 ரே மகரி சசா என்னுள்ளே பொழியும் தேன்மழை பொழியும். That is the same. தேன்மழை ரே மகரி சா மழை. Moving on to the verse. செம்பருத்தி பூவ போல ஸ்நேகமான வாய்மொழி. So many glides, right? The beginning itself there is a glide. செம்பருத்தி. So get that glide right. செம்பருத்தி பூவ போல பூவ போல ஸ்நேகமான. So these are symmetrical patterns. பூவ போல ஸ்நேகமான. Do you see the symmetry? It is just coming one level lower. Okay? வாய்மொழி பாபா மபனி பக வாய்மொழி. The next part has the same tune. செல்லம் கொஞ்ச கோடை கூட ஆகிடாதோ மார்கழி. So the ending is plain this time. மார்கழி. Then the next part. Pal nila un kaiyile. Again the brigas are back. So let's break it down. Pal nila sani ni da da un kaiyile ma ma ga ga re re. So this is again symmetrical brigas, right? Sani ni da da ma ga ga re re. So one briga is down, next briga is up. So sani ni da da ma ga ga re re. So we have to connect these two brigas like that. Pal nila un kaiyile. So very quickly we have to make that connection. Pal nila un kaiyile soragi pogade. So there is something even higher now. So soragi, that's a glide. Pogade. So make sure you are very gentle with this line. Okay, it should not sound as if you are shouting like soragi pogade. So don't try to push your throat like that. Go into your head voice and try to hit that note very gently. Soragi pogade Vanavil. That is another beautiful variation, isn't it? Vana Dasani Sada. So look at the balance between the notes. It is not enough if you just translate the notes. You should also understand which note is longer, which note is shorter. For how much time should you sing each note? Only then you will get that correct variation. Vana Vanavil Ni Sodida. So again we are making that big glide into the next level, right? Ni Sodida Meladayagade. So here again make sure that you're being gentle on your voice. So it should not have that shouting kind of a feel. So go nicely into your head voice here. Then comes a very beautiful part. Kannamma. So it's a beautiful roll of notes, right? Very fast moving notes. So let's decode it to make it easier. Kannamma Sari Sari Gamapa. Easy, isn't it? It's just Sari Gamapa. So Kannamma. Again make sure you connect the notes properly. Kannamma. So in the end you have this also. That's again a briga. Then Kannamma. So it is a similar phrase but in a lower level, right? Kannamma Nisa Nisa Rigama. So Sari Sari Gama Pa. Then Nisa Nisa Rigama. So it's a symmetrical pattern. Kannamma Kannamma. And then comes the grand finale. Nillamma Unnai Ullam Ennudamma. Now this part you have to get it perfect because it is the finale of the verse. So if you make a mistake here, nobody will forget that, right? So let's break this down. Nillamma Mama Gama Sapa Maga. And then Riga Samagari. So the first one was Mama Gama Sapa Maga. And then Riga Samagari. There is something very interesting here. The first pattern used a different ga. Mama ga. This is the higher shade of ga. Okay, it is the bigger ga. Ga. Mama ga ma sa pa ma ga. So in this pattern we are using this ga, but in the next pattern, re ga ga. This is the lower shade of ga. So the first pattern uses the higher shade and the second pattern uses the lower shade. So that brings such a beautiful variety here. Re ga sa ma ga re. So these kind of things you should really observe whenever you listen to any song. You should have a complete clarity of what notes are being used and what variant of the note is being used. Is it Re 1 or Re 2? Is it Ga 1 or Ga 2? So that understanding of all the 12 Swarasthanas has to be absolutely perfect. So this phrase is like Nillamma. Then Unnai ullam ennudamma. So here you have to give the stress in the right places. Unnai ullam. So it should not be very flat like Unnai ullam. That will not have the effect. So you have to give that push. Unnai ullam ennudamma. So these are very plain notes, but you have to be careful to hit the right notes. So you should not go slightly off here. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope you got a lot of clarity about this song. So I'll be waiting to hear your rendition of this song. Please post it on social media and do tag us. I've shared the handles here. And if you want to get started with your musical journey, like learning how to identify notes, how to modulate the voice, how to understand the gamakas and so on, please join VoxGuru's live Carnatic curriculum. We have a very systematic program that covers all the essentials of music learning, right from ear training to voice culture to understanding the 12 Swarasthanas. So even if you are not a Carnatic enthusiast, you should still pursue this curriculum because it's going to give you a lot of fundamentals that you can use even in other styles of music. So all the nuances that I shared today, nobody has taught this to me in a class. I have just understood it based on my foundation in Carnatic music. So trust me, it's going to be a great investment of your time in developing yourself as a musician. So if you want to join us, please drop us a WhatsApp message. I have shared the link in the description. So say hi and we'll get back to you with all details of this course. And also don't forget to download the VoxGuru app where you will find a lot of self-learning content and self-learning courses in different genres of music. So whatever may be your interest, you can just start learning right away with the click of a button. So please get the app. It is available both on Android and iOS, and I've shared the links of that also in the description. So go check it out and I'll be waiting for that WhatsApp message. Take care and keep practicing.